Hey, this is Notser, and this is why submarines are broken. I think this video is going to showcase the perfect example of why I think this needs to change. Oh, and by the way, look at that lovely matchmaker. One aircraft carrier, 3 battleships, 2 cruisers, 4 destroyers, and then 2 submarines. Yeah, not a lot of surface ships to shoot at, right? But that's not the reason we're here. We're here because I've been enjoying watching Flambass go down the middle on Two Brothers. He does it quite well, so I figured, what about with a submarine? How effective is that? And you're going to see just how effective it can be. Now, I'm someone who loves the idea of submarines being introduced into the game, but I don't like this. This can die in a fire as far as I'm concerned, because this is not fun to play against. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about, of course, the point-blank dumbfire torpedoes. They are ridiculously strong. They are basically uncounterable, because if you play it correctly, the surface ship will never see you. The surface ship will never have a bearing of a clue, because unfortunately for wargaming, they built the sonar to be the clue for the surface ship of your location. Well, what if you just refuse to use that ability? Now what are they going to do? So I got a real problem with this. This needs to change. Even after what the announced changes that they're going to implement with 11.4 or 11.5, where there's going to be like a shadowy cloud, roughly where the sonar came from, that doesn't address this at all. This strategy is still usable. There is absolutely nothing from wargaming that has confirmed otherwise, and I think that is unacceptable. This should not be in the game. Now, I was not quite sure how deep the water between the 2 islands on Two Brothers actually is, so we're just going to do a little bit of testing. I'm glad that there's an aircraft carrier in this game, because it can show the most extreme annoying. They can just hover over the middle very easily and potentially spot, right? That's what would deny a DD from being aggressive in the same situation. But clearly, I'm not a DD. So we're going to sail this way. An enemy Salem was actually spotted by someone, friendly DD or aircraft carrier or whatever. And that gives me a little bit of a clue. So you might be wondering, okay, well, obviously you could avoid the air there. How would you counter this play? Well, there's only 2 things you can do. You either have a submarine on your team going down the middle and just body spot, because as you can see, hydrophone is not up yet. Or you have a hydroacoustic activated blindly. That's the only way that you can counter this. So this is something that really just shouldn't be allowed. And I can definitely get behind maybe potentially allowing some silent running here, but when we get to the target, there needs to be some clue for the surface ship, because there just isn't. And if I swallow my sonar ping, I'm literally not going to tell them anything. And yes, you can sail the entire length in maximum depth, so you get to be fully stealthed, so that not even air can spot you. Now, there are some shallow bits that we run into, of course, but I think we're far enough through, and the aircraft carrier squadron is on the west side, that we can actually afford to come up. We do need to spawn. So we're at periscope depth. Our detection is, 2-3. Impossible for him to see us. He would have to activate Hydra already. So we're going to send 3, because I wasn't quite sure how many I needed. And honestly, I wasn't sure if he had an idea of what was happening. Normally, if I do this play and they see me, they start actively maneuvering. But he just sees that situation awareness is off. Where could that be coming from? So he takes 3 torpedoes very quickly. We actually get within the spotting range for periscope, and I'm going to go deeper. And I'm hoping that those 3 torpedoes will knock him out, and sure enough, they do. What was that? 7-10 seconds, maybe, to react? at the very beginning of the game? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We didn't even need all 6 torpedoes to land to kill him. So pretty much every cruiser in the game will die to that exact tactic if nothing has changed. And, you know, we spotted the Salem earlier. I think the Salem is actually right in front of me, so I'm going to head over towards him. And notice my torpedoes, they're basically up off of cooldown. And again, the aircraft carrier, he can't spot us. Only Hydro can spot us. The Salem's not going to have Hydro because he's going to use radar. So it's insane how one-dimensional the counter is for this moment. I just can't get behind that. No, no, no. There needs to be something that tells him I'm here. An audio chime or something. Something that says, there's an object in the water within 6 kilometers of you. Let's be like, what? So yeah, we're sailing through. Did a little peek to see what he was doing. Okay, so we're gonna go back to maximum depth. Hydrophone is off of cooldown, so I can even use that as sort of a last known position. Early warning, and then I'm gonna just pop up. We are within detection. All I'm trying to do is make sure that the torpedoes activate before they hit his hull. And he just fired his gun. He's probably in his binocular view right now, and guess what? He's going to die in his binocular view because he's not going to have any idea that that was about to happen. And it's just insane. Now, I'm going to misplay this. If you are in the same situation, you want to go out to open water and then dive deeper. You don't want to go in the shallow area, which is along the island chain. It's funny, it's actually easier for the submarine to go down the middle than it is to go on the flanks. Probably Wargaming intended it to work this way. I don't know. This is definitely an issue at Tier 10, though. I think everyone watching this probably agrees. It should not be that easy to perform that kind of assassination. There should be, you know, planning, timing, counterplay. Oh my god. It's ridiculous, clearly. And I just hope that something changes soon. I know that Wargaming mentioned in 11.4 that the sonar ping early warning would adjust slightly. That doesn't address this at all, and it needs to be addressed. I don't know what Wargaming needs to implement into the game. I think that this is under-tested because Tier 6 can't do this, and then the Tier 8s, they move at reduced speed underwater, whereas the Tier 10s, they move 1-to-1, whether they're on the surface or at maximum depth, which obviously doesn't make sense in the era that we're talking about. But they've decided to do that, so the consequences of that are this playstyle is very easy to perform and clearly very effective. This DD's gonna just put us out of our misery. He's just gonna drive right over us and drop his payload. It'd be funny too, because the water is so shallow. Maybe the explosion would come back up and hurt him, but regardless, we got 2 of their radar cruisers. They are crippled when it comes to intelligence. It's just whether my team can obviously carry it out and win the game. And if I was a better player there, I could have escaped out to open ocean and not died. But I just misplayed because I've never done that before. That was literally the first time I ever did that. Can you imagine if that strategy is refined? I mean, it's going to just be known on Two Brothers. It's just so easy to do. Of course, that's what Submarine players are going to do, especially at Tier 10. Why wouldn't you? Get free kills? Escape? Do it all over again? Yeah, sure. I'll do it. And that's what the reputation for the class will ultimately be. It's for cheesers. It's for people who like to manipulate the game to such an extreme that they themselves don't necessarily have to understand all aspects of the game to be successful. The cheese is so potent that it allows you to be successful in matchups where you weren't the better player. And I just want that out of the game. Every single game. So the fact that it's in ships, it sickens me, honestly. I don't like that tactic at all. If you like the topic and drawing attention to it, please like the video. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I stream at twitch.tv/Notser. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day.